The Weeknd, the Noise EP reaction. Finally, we're dipping back into the Weeknd's archives for this one. I've been meaning to do this for a long time, but it kept slipping my mind, but it feels like today is the perfect day to go all the way back pre-trilogy and check out where the Weeknd began. Guys, as always, the reaction is uncut on Patreon. Come and join the community on Patreon. The link is down in the description underneath the like button. Otherwise, let's jump in. For a minute, I thought that was going to be Dancing in the Moonlight by Top Loader, the worst song ever written, my least favourite song of all time, but it's not, no need for alarm.
Here's your special K, 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 K. Watch me throw it in the air, pocket full of waves.
Okay. So far it's a slightly lighter tone than what will go on to be on Trilogy, but hey, we're 40 seconds in, let's keep it going.
And shit, X-ray visions while you shaking those hips. I just wanna see you in your birthday suit. Take it all off. I don't wanna see, baby, it's your special day. Day, 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 day. You already know.
So it sounds almost more traditional, typical R&B than the kind of dark, sinister, synthy stuff that we go on to create, but yeah, still enjoying it. Subject matter, obviously, still pretty similar. Not sure about that guitar in the mix, but you know, this is pre the mixtapes, which were pre the albums, so I can't get mad about any sort of mixing or anything like that. That would just be stupid.
Money ain't a thing, baby, I made it to spend, so just get in your birthday suit. Take it all.
Actually, I kind of like the guitar.
Be on that pussy, but before my mind's undressing you, my strap, Martin Luther with a brain like Luther, kryptonite in my pants, so ahead go super. Yeah.
Kryptonite in my pants, so ahead go super. I think he's got a bit better lyrically since then.
Your body so cracked, should be wider than a bino. Your body so cracked, got me horny like a rhino. Shit, I know you seen. Trust me when I say I satisfy you till the night go. Girl, you already know the best damn part is get you on your back, wax you like Kelly Clarkson. Birthday suit.
Yeah, I changed my mind. The guitar actually kind of drives the instrumentation of it. It's a little bit repetitive, but the melody is catchy. It's a catchy song. It's quite cool. It's just really interesting, actually, just to go back pre-trilogy, and I've lived with all of his music for so long and done this journey on the channel to then go back all the way. It's kind of an interesting way of doing it. I think if I'd started here, I think it makes more sense to do it like this. Noise, noise, noise.
I've been looking for this groove. You had it. I need it.
You can kind of feel the DNA of his future music in this one. Oh, I'd love to hear a remix. Always about to go into some like MJ type harmonies there. I'd love to hear like a remastered version of this song, because I don't want to even, that's the last time actually that I'm going to mention the mix and stuff like that, because like it just is what it is. It's pre-mixtape era. But a remaster of this, there's so much going on here that you can hear in his future music, like the groove of it, the style, the production elements. Let's take it back a little bit before it goes into these harmonies.
Don't think about it, just move your feet. Baby girl, move your feet. I will set you free. And they want me to do
It's fascinating to hear this, because you can really hear what he goes on to create from a track like this. Like, obviously so influenced by Michael Jackson anyway, and the vocal style and some of the grooves that he uses. You don't necessarily get that so much when you listen to House of Balloons. But obviously it's gone on to inform so much of his music, and you hear there's elements even in his latest record that you can hear here. So it's really fascinating to go back. And yeah, like I say, with a remaster, I think this could be an absolute banger. I'm enjoying it anyway.
Yeah. Do like me.
Cool track. Very cool track.
Going back in time.
Okay.
When I feel her, she touching me. It's too familiar. The way she doing the thing. She does exactly the way you used to. Going crazy. Do I need some therapy to get shawty out of my mind? Girl, my head is racing. Making love to you through her. Am I making love to you through her?
Classic bit of Abel toxicity as well. Am I making love to you through her? A repeated refrain that we would hear throughout his career.
Why can't she leave me alone? Can't believe every girl that I hold. I see you. Out of my mind. My head is racing. And shawty's spinning.
There's definitely some moments on this project already. Definitely.
Am I making love to you through her? Love through her.
Really strong track. The warm synths there. The higher kind of like staccato synths as well. A lot going on in the production that I really like. And definitely the song that reminds me of Trilogy the most so far. Material Girl, is it a Madonna cover? I hope not. Doesn't sound like it so far.
I got a confession to make.
Okay. Commitment
is an enemy to me. But ever since our lips touch you, what you do gon' make a nigga buy a ring for your finger, Jimmy's for your feet, jeans for that back, lingerie for the sheets, material girl, anything you need, and I'ma give it to ya, I'ma give it all.
So far on this project, I don't feel like he's like truly found the power in his voice yet that he'd obviously go on to, and it just seems to increase over time. So I'm not getting those ones with the vocals just knock you back. And again, that might be something to do with the mix as well, and maybe the number of takes that they did on each one of these songs. There's so much here that you can kind of like sense the magic. You get an early like impression, an early like sneak peek almost into the magic. And there's some moments on here, like this is a really interesting song. The drums, the little light guitar, and then the melody again. Is this the best song so far? I think it might be. This is pretty good, you know. It is good. I shouldn't be surprised, really. Listen, before we continue, one thing I wanted to mention is I'm definitely keen to get back to doing these classic records that I've missed. Some artists I need to complete the set, like this one. I just did the Drake Thank Me Later. That's up now on Patreon, but that'll be coming to the channel soon as well. But I definitely want to get back to doing classic artists, classic albums that mean a lot to you guys that I might not have heard yet, any genre. So make sure you drop in those suggestions down in the comments as well. And if you've got this far on this one and you're not subscribed yet, not only should you subscribe and join the team, but you've also got the Weeknd's pretty much entire back catalogue worth of reactions, first listens to watch as well. So enjoy. Hopefully, I did. All right, let's keep going. A lot of this synth used throughout this record kind of reminds me of a Timbaland type of synth.
Lonely heart sitting at the bar. You always seem to find right with no tears in our through your let me rescue you. I see the truth. I see right through the pain. I can take you there. You'll fly.
Okay. This is another one of those ones that you can imagine a remaster would just bring the whole song to life in a completely different way, because the melody and the drive and the kind of intensity is there, but it just doesn't have the capacity to be as probably as monumental as it could be. But yeah, I just love the fact it's all there. It's all there. Tell you what, The Weeknd is playing a classic kind of toxicity trick here. You see this from guys that try and taken women who are with other people. They'll use little lines like, "Wow, I've not seen a spark like that from you in ages," and it gets the girl thinking, "Yeah, I haven't felt like this for ages, but when I'm with you, I feel like this." It's just nasty little tricks that nasty boys use. But you know, it is what it is. I think there's definitely a Timbaland and Timberlake influence going on through a lot of this project here as well, just in some of the production choices, just in some of his melodic choices. Obviously, MJ is a huge influence on The Weeknd, but it's a huge influence on Timberlake as well. So it's interesting to hear that, because that's not something that I necessarily associate with The Weeknd going forward beyond this. And it might be to do with the production choices as much as anything.
I can take you there, go fly you through the air. Girl, I can be a superhero. Oh.
Another strong track, and like I say, I think it would come to life with the remaster, but I just love hearing this kind of like genesis of what he would become. It's a really, really interesting listen for me.
Got my fancy clothes and the candles lit. Dinner's getting cold, can't quite seem to sit. Do all alone.
I actually really like the production on this one. The keys are cool. This is the first track on the whole project where you kind of got that slightly eerie, sinister element in the production as well. Is the beautiful vocals and the raunchy subject matter is so like typical of his early work. And, yeah, everything really. Yeah, that slightly sinister. You're like, what is going on with that synth? That makes me feel slightly uncomfortable, but I'm kind of intrigued as well. And these chopped and screwed parts as well. Definitely some initiation DNA in this one. Okay.
I'm looking through you like an X-ray. I'm trying to figure if your love's fake. Give or take, beaming through your door. I see right through your false eyes, trying to feed me more.
Again, Timberland influence in the production. Little bounce.
Little side man's falling for your waist. And we at my lead, thinking hard, got me going insane. I'm looking through you like an X-ray.
It's weird that you can hear so much of Starboy on this album. And I think it's mainly just down to the production choices, but all the way before Starboy, it went on and kind of like redefined a lot of his music in many ways. And yet it was all here in the beginning. It's funny.
And it's filled with love. Oh, be so slick and go through all day. I'm looking through you like an X-ray. I'm trying to find out if your heart breaks. Can it break? Is it fake? Should I wait? Am I late? Thinking this time was your last. Oh, looking through you like an X-ray. I'm trying to figure if your love's fake. Give or take, couple days. Should I wait? Am I late? Thinking hard, got me going insane.
Yeah. The whole project is just really working for me now. At first it was like, yeah, it's cool to hear like the DNA of what we're becoming. It is that, definitely. But song after song after song, they're just really good. And I shouldn't really be surprised. It's the fucking Weeknd.
Need some cure for this disease. I've been cursed with LUV. My visions bleed with memories of all the time we spent. Now
Very
I'm
melodramatic.
left with only me, and my body's feeling weak. I need that someone to replace me. She needs to clear my mental space. Now it's over.
I'm liking the strings on this track. It also reminded me, there used to be this program, I don't know if it's still on, but anyway, when I was a kid, there was this program on the BBC called Ski Sunday. I don't know why there was a program about skiing on Sunday, but it had the most fire theme tune. Listen to this. Fucking banger.
All my life, never think you go. There you go. You've been swimming through my veins. I need a drink over. My mistakes are chosen.
In the Mood featuring Bullies and Nerds. Don't know who they are.
She got a mouth full of lies, a pocket full of cash. The money makes her blind behind a new eyelash. Cruising on a plane with the backstage pass. She wants more loot, she got backstage cash. Finish up your plate, cause my pocket's overweight. Her favorite food is cake and her favorite word is safe. But my safe ain't safe when she up in my place. Fingerprints trace, so why'd you wanna take?
Yeah, I mean, what's this?
You have faith while you're searching for my tapes.
Come on, Abel. Come save this song. Thank God for that.
She don't like cheese, but I know she like it. She don't like fur, but I know she like it. She don't like lace, but she rides the carpet. No matter who comes, you're my number one.
This one is not so good. It just isn't. Yeah, I think there's a reason. Hey, I might be wrong. They might be featured in the future on the Weeknd's music and I didn't realise, but I do think there's a reason we've not heard much from Bullies and Nerds since this track. Because they were whack. Final track now, Superhero.
Through your misery, hospitality that you need from me. You, I can see the truth.
What? Let's just Rescue You. I'm confused because the last track is called Superhero on here, but it sounded exactly like Rescue You. I don't know what's going on. So guys, I guess that's a wrap. Like I said, I liked it a lot. I liked a lot of moments on that and it was full of cool elements that would go on to inform the rest of his music. I'm really glad actually that wasn't like the first. I didn't do it in completely in chronological order and that was the first one that I did because I think it would have just changed expectations. You can only do the things in the order that you do them anyway, so there's no point even trying to change these. But I am kind of glad that I went and did that last because it was cool because you can hear, oh, actually, you can see where you like that type of music. Oh, actually, that's where he's, changed styles. So interesting, super interesting, cool. And then finally done it. Let me know down in the comments. other classic tapes, other classic reactions that you'd like to see from me. And it doesn't need to be in any particular genre. I'm definitely looking to expand, but I want to go back and do more classic stuff, because that is ultimately one great thing about reactions, is it, there's no like time limit on it. And there's no time limit on when we discover the music that we discover in life. I think that's an important thing to think about as well. Just because we weren't there at the beginning, just because you didn't hear it, even if somebody says, were you living under a rock at the time? Maybe you were. Maybe you were living under a rock. From one guy under a rock to many others, thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you all very soon, all right? Peace.